Genesys format is upon us, and while much of the Yu-Gi space seems committed to jamming golden bamboo swords and FTKs into Iron Chain lists, here on the Genesys Gateway, we don't value literal FTKs, only figurative ones. Our archetype for our inaugural episode is Gold Pride P.U.N.K, a mashup of two unrelated archetypes with differing visual design but complementary gameplay. The Gold Pride cards have special effects when your life points are below your opponent's, representing a race to the bottom of a duel. And the P.U.N.K cards spend life points in that same way that every psychic monster does. This deck had flashes of relevance in the TCG, relying on Psychic and Punisher to wall out games and attack for 14k. But a strategy that auto-loses in time with the old rules was essentially doomed from the start. Here in Genesys, however, we have less options, but so does everybody else. And our centric and varied forms of interruption can truly shine. This deck is for 0-point Genesys format. If you guys enjoy, I'll post a 100-point version at a later date. Let's get into the deck. This is our list for the day. 40 card Gold Pride P.U.N.K. 0 Power Point Genesys is a land barren of nearly all of the best hand traps in the game's history, and so we might as well push the gas pedal to the floor. For the card by card, and I'll go into the effects briefly. We're playing 3 copies of Gold Pride Captain Carry. This card says if your life points are lower than your opponent's, you can special summon this card from your hand. All of the main deck Gold Pride monsters have that effect. Then has the effect if this card is normal or special summoned, you can add 1 Gold Pride trap from your deck to your hand. We are playing 1 of those. We're playing 3 copies of Gold Pride Leon. This card's effect is if this card is normal or special summoned, you can target 1 non-warrior Gold Pride monster in your graveyard, special summon it in defense position. It then locks you into summoning Gold Pride monsters from the extra deck for the remainder of the turn, so generally you want to do this last. Additionally, it can quick sync on your opponent's turn using only Gold Pride monsters you control, but it does not require that you quick sync into a Gold Pride monster. Very powerful. We're playing 1 copy of Gold Pride Eliminator. This is a level 5 tuner with a special summon condition. Pretty powerful. And then says you can banish 1 other Gold Pride monster from your hand, face up, field, or graveyard to special summon a token with that monster's level. Also, this card cannot be used for extra deck summons except for Gold Pride monsters. Very powerful extender in the mid to late game. We're playing 1 Rollerballer. This card allows you to fusion summon using monsters you control as a quick effect, and the monster that it fusion summons is ridiculous. And finally, we're playing 1 copy of Nitro Head. This card allows you to, during your opponent's standby phase, special summon a Nitro token to your opponent's field. You can then, as a quick effect, pop that token and then pop the cards adjacent to that token. Very powerful. Most opponents are not prepared to, when they queue into a game, have to play zone math with their monsters, and so that can kind of trip your opponent up, make them misplay. For the P.U.N.Ks, we're playing 3 copies of No P.U.N.K Zayamin. This card is your bread and butter of the P.U.N.Ks. It's a level 3 tuner that says you can pay 600 life points, add a P.U.N.K monster from your deck to your hand. Incredibly powerful. Basically lets you get access to anything, and the anything that you want is No P.U.N.K Rising Scale. This is the do everything card of the deck. You can banish 1 other P.U.N.K card from your hand or graveyard, special summon this card from your hand. If this card is special summoned, you can pay 600 life points, take 1 P.U.N.K monster from either your deck or grave, except a level 8, and either add it to your hand or special summon it. Any combination of P.U.N.K monsters, including Rising Scale, gets you access to full combo. Additionally, it has a secondary effect where if your opponent activates the effect of a monster with 2500 attack on the field, you can Book a Moon it. Doesn't typically come up, but it can be a piece of an end board. We're playing 3 copies of Foxy Tune. This card has a lot of effects, and the only one that matters is the final one. You can send this card from your hand to the grave, send an additional card from your hand to the grave in order to special summon a non-level 8 P.U.N.K monster from deck. Can get you access to Zayamin, which can get you access to Rising Scale. It just does basically everything, and is one of the reasons why we're okay with playing a lot of cards that we don't necessarily want in hand. We're playing Wogon, pay 600 to add a spell. We are playing 1 of those. And we're playing Ogre Dance just to kind of round out the lineup. It does have a special summon condition, and you can send it from hand to grave in order to add a P.U.N.K monster. We're playing 1 copy of Deer Note. You can reveal another P.U.N.K monster in your hand to special summon either the revealed monster or this card, send the other one to the grave, and if it's sent from field to the grave, you can target a P.U.N.K monster in grave except a level 5, special summon it, and then you cannot special summon Deer Note for the remainder of the turn. Very helpful to get a level 8 back in order to make an 11. Good card. And finally, we're playing 1 copy of Shirakusai. This allows you to pay 600 in order to fusion summon, and we'll go into the target in a minute. We're playing 3 copies of Radiant Typhoon Swen. This is part of the Typhoon archetype released in Doom of Dimensions about the mystical Space Typhoon card, further proving that there is no rock that Konami will not overturn in the pursuit of legacy support. This is a level 3 extender that says if you have mystical Space Typhoon in your grave or your opponent controls no spell traps, you can special summon this card, and then if it's normal or special summoned, you can add a Radiant Typhoon spell trap, which is why we're playing the 1 MST. We're playing 1 Tracker and Wielder. These are both special summonable if you control a level 3, but they are hard once per turn, so we don't play too many. We're playing 3 Gold Pride The Crowd Goes Wild. This allows you to reveal a Gold Pride monster in your hand, add a Gold Pride monster with a different name from deck to hand, and then you can special summon it by losing life points equal to its original attack. You want your life points to be lower than your opponent's, so this is very powerful. Better Luck Next Time allows you to add a Gold Pride monster from deck to hand, and then you lose life points equal to its attack, and then if a face-up Gold Pride monster you control with special summon from the extra deck returns to the extra deck, we'll get into that in a bit, you get to draw a card. This card is ridiculous and lets you plus into infinity infinity. Speaking of plussing into infinity, everyone talks about how Pot of Greed is legal in Genesis format. Pot of Greed has always been legal. P.U.N.K Jam Extreme Session is a field spell searchable off Wogon, which is searchable off everything that says, once per turn you can banish one P.U.N.K card from your grave, special summon one P.U.N.K monster from your hand. If a psychic monster you control paid life points to activate its effect, you can draw a card, and that is usable up to twice per turn. It's an extender, and it gets you card advantage. Ridiculous. We're playing one Ghostrick shot for the utopic engine. That is the reason I had to remake this entire video, because they changed utopic Draco Future, but it's fine. We found a substitute. We're playing 3 Upstart Goblin because it thins your deck, and you just want your life points to be lower than your opponents in this deck. 1 MST, and then 1 Start Your Engines, a normal trap that says if your opponent normal or special summons a monster, target one of those monsters, reveal 3 gold prize monsters from your deck, your opponent randomly picks one for you to special summon, shuffle the rest into the deck, and then destroy the targeted monster. This is very effective for getting into Leon on your opponent's turn and enabling a bunch of quick play disruption. On to the extra deck, we're playing 1 Gold Pride Pinballer. This is the target that you summon off Rollerballer, and allows you, if it's fusion summoned, to equip face-up monsters your opponent controls to it, up to the number of fusion materials used. However, if your life points are lower than your opponent's, they cannot activate cards or effects in response. It's just super poly. It's ridiculous. Rising Carp is the target that you make off Shirakusai and allows you to tribute it in order to special summon 2 P.U.N.K monsters with different names from deck except a level 8, essentially allowing you access to whatever you don't have. Jurishin is a quick effect Regeki or Harpy's Feather Duster on your opponent's turn. Amazing Dragon is a board clearer that can plus you. Draco Berserker is him. Eradicator is a quick effect pop 2 on your opponent's turn if your life points are lower. Typically not played, but decent in this format when you're kind of low on level 8s. Star Leon is a bad monster pop, but you play it. On to the Xyz monsters. P.U.N.K Jam Fever is a rank 8 that you can make with 2 level 8s, or you can Xyz summon it on top of a fusion or synchro monster you control. Pretty cool after you've exhausted Amazing Dragon in order to turn it into something a little more useful. And has 2 effects. You can pay 600 life points to detach and then draw 1 card, or if you have a level 3 psychic in your grave, it is a monster negate. Very powerful. We're playing 1 Ashura King because I'm the only person on the planet who thinks this card is good. We're playing 2 Gold Pride Chariot Carry. This is your go-to rank 3. Allows you to detach material from this card, add a Gold Pride spell from your deck to your hand. Then, if your life points are lower than your opponent's, you can send 1 Gold Pride monster from your deck to the grave. Typically, you are sending Rollerballer. Additionally, this card has the effect where during the end phase, if it activated its effect this turn, you tag it out into the extra deck and then special summon a carry from deck or grave. This is mandatory. However, if you have better luck next time, you do get a card draw off of it, so it's pretty useful. Finally, for the Ghostrick engine, we are playing 2 Angel of Mischief and an Alucard. There is a world where we just play other rank 3s because this deck can just make rank 3s. Maybe this engine isn't super mandatory in this deck, but I still like it. It's helpful if you just have 2 level 3s left over and you just want to make a crazy powerful card. Speaking of the crazy powerful card, we have number F0 Utopic Future Zexal. This is the reason why we had to remake this deck. This card requires 2 Xyz monsters with the same rank, and then gains attack defense equal to the total number of ranks of all Xyz monsters you control and in your opponent's graveyard. You can get this thing up to ludicrous numbers. Your opponent's monsters cannot target monsters for attacks except this one. Also, your opponent cannot target other cards on the field with card effects. This is board-wide targeting protection. Incredibly helpful in a format like this where so much interruption is targeted. Once per turn, when your opponent activates a card or effect on the field, quick effect, you can detach 1 material from this card, take control of 1 monster your opponent controls. Also, this card cannot be destroyed by battle or card effects. So it can't be targeted, can't be destroyed, and it is a quick effect change of heart, and you can make this thing by breathing. This card is not as good as Utopic Draco Future, but if they're going to remove that card from the 0-point Genesis format, I think that this is a reasonable substitution. For the side deck, we have a Lava Golem, 3 DD Crow, 3 Dark Ruler No More, the last 2 Mystical Space Typhoons, 3 Radiant Typhoon Chant. This is an additional Typhoon card that allows me to add a level 4 lower Radiant Typhoon monster, decent for extension, and 3 Wiretap because I didn't know what else to add. On to the games. So what do I think about the deck? This is one of my favorite decks in Yu-Gi-Oh! Gold Pride and P.U.N.K are both so perfect at setting out what they want to do. Put their foot on the gas, summon a billion times per turn, and end with a bunch of varied, layered forms of interaction that most opponents are not ready to deal with. Very rarely are you going to look at your opponent's board and go, I do not have a form of interruption or removal that deals with that. Most decks in the game cannot handle a pinballer. A card like Jurishin, especially in a format like this, is ridiculous. And the fact that the ceiling on the deck is not as high as some other decks, I don't believe is going to be as relevant in Genesis as it would be in, say, Master Duel. I think that this deck is fantastic. I think it takes perfect advantage of the Ghostrick engine. It is a wonderful home in here, and I think that this deck will be competitive. We're still in the early days of finding out what's good and what isn't good in Genesis, so I'm not making any kind of tiered meta predictions here, but I think that this is a perfectly respectable deck to bring to any table. If your opponents aren't going to play hand traps, let's just summon. Thank you guys for tuning into this first episode. I hope that you guys enjoyed. Leave some comments. Tell me if there's anything you'd like to see differently going forward, and remember to wash behind your ears.